Oh God. Oh God, help me. All right, let me redraw all this. Oh God. I'm just joking. Hello, everyone. I'm back from earlier. I had a good lunch. How we all doing? All right, let me get some music on again. The only way I survive through these streams sometimes. There we go. Music? Hello? My music? All right, let's get started with some hyper scalping, guys. Profit, this is not accurate. The balance above updates every single day. So you'll see the update every day. That way, one, it doesn't ruin the stream. Two, it's Top Step. I can't log into two of these accounts that I have right here. So, all right, let's look at the 5,000 time frame. So we're gonna follow those steps. Strong downwards trend. We have a minor structure right here. They got respected. This liquidity will eventually be grabbed. And then this will give me a good setup if it gets grabbed. So we have liquidity above here. All right, so we have liquidity above there. I mean, technically, we have another minor one as well with good liquidity. But so this is also clear liquidity above here. All right, so we have both of these, which is both clear liquidity. Okay, and the reason why is they're just minor structures appearing on top of each other. And we have yet to retest into this one. Clearly retest into this one. I don't think we made it yet. So then we can track the previous price action. I mean, we didn't retest into this one either. Okay. So this could be a target range as well. Okay, and then we have a low. Let me go ahead and pull up the... And if anyone has any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help out, okay? We are bearish. So we created a lower low, 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 high, low right here. And we just created a higher high, so we did reverse positions. So my target would be this reversal liquidity up. I believe we could work our way up to here if we don't fail here, which I think we did just fail, but this is not a good entry. We're overextended, so I would not take a short entry here. It might give me the setup for it, but just for my own sanity, I would not take a short entry here. All right, and then let me draw these minor ones. So this is our previous one. All right. So we know we're bearish right here. And we're holding this range. So that means we're moving up most likely. Okay. Let's go to the 100. Let's see what the retest could have been. There is no setup there for May. But we do have this liquidity here. Make sure we're failing. Because we did create that low. So if we create this short right here, this might be an entry. It's retested a lot though. So I don't know. It's not really liquidity. This would be in a simulated entry. Okay, let's just pretend. Let's simulate this. Pretend that we enter this trade. Will this give me a 1 to 2? This one I would be less certain on since we reversed the high and low. And the only two places it could come is this liquidity right here. It could only come for this liquidity down here, or it might be able to come for the height up there. All right, and if anyone has any questions, let me know. I'm just double checking. We're not seeing any setups. Again, this number on the top right is wrong. I made 364 today. There's an error for some reason. It's displaying different values on the account. I'm currently up to 50,912, as I could show you on this challenge. Let me see if I could show you properly. Can you guys see that? See that? Yeah, just so you know I'm not fibbing or anything. I don't know why that number's messed up. It showed the correct one earlier in my stream. This price action is definitely interesting. All right, so we got our touch in this trade. They gave us our retest and our failure. So let's see if this actually would hit our take profit. If I would have entered this trade. This was the simulated trade. Just remember, this would have had to hit that previous low. And grab this liquidity. I mean, it gave me my 1 to 2 already if I would have taken this trade. So this would have been a valid entry. But like I was saying, it was hitting this liquidity right here. Amber alert. We held the range right here. It should hit my take profit. I don't know why this is sad music, or not sad, but like, let me move it over. Yeah, but again, if you do want to support me at all, you can use the invite code on Whatnot. I'm not promoted by them. It's just literally what I spend most of my money on, my free money on, for items and stuff. I enjoy the swiping of stuff. So anything to where I can get more money on that app, please, to support my terrible habits. But no, you don't have to. If you don't like it, don't do it, please. I don't know if I want to take that. That's not a great trade. No, that doesn't even fit my setup. What a move. That trade would have worked if I taken it. Why did I simulate that? It's just not a clear setup. This bounced off of it and then it failed. I'd have preferred to see an instant rejection, then a retest back up. So that's why I didn't take that specific trade. Okay. I'm not saying anything there. I'm on the, if you're wondering the time frames, it's got fired today. I'm gonna keep it very straightforward, Brian. I can teach you how to trade, but when you do it, you have to do it automatically, okay? Like when you are trading, you cannot worry about if you lose, if you win, and you just gotta focus on one thing. Oh, you traded a bit in the past. Okay, good. Yeah, you gotta be very careful. The main thing I would recommend, so I'll go through everything with you while I'm waiting for a trade and explain the reasons. Make sure your charts are easy for you to understand, okay? The main strategy I have, and I'm gonna make a video on this, so this might help you out. This is the only video I'm gonna make on this year. Otherwise, I'm just live streaming as my own journals. But let me show you. I gotta pull it up again. Oh my god, I just opened like 6 tabs. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let me show you this, and then I'll start teaching you, but I'll show you my thought process, and I'll show you a few examples since nothing's setting up for me right now on my own strategy. Can we see this? Let me move it down to 75%. Okay. Are we able to see this clearly? So this is the strategy that I'm showing you guys. And this is something I created in order to assign point values to my trading. Okay, so it takes subjectivity and makes it objective and shows if your subjectivity is profitable or if your subjectivity is not profitable with your specific strategy. It also filters out negative trades versus, trades that most likely won't work out over time versus trades that will work out over time. Okay, and so I'm tracking data on this. It's been beneficial. I don't have enough data on it to really say for a fact yet. I only have 35 trades on a simulated account on this thing that I've tracked on it. But so far, the higher score, the higher range score, the more likely it is to show. So let me go through it. This is how you identify the higher time frame, okay? When we're identifying the higher time frames, we want to identify highs and lows, right? In clear structure. So is there going to be clear bullish or bearish structure? That's just basically, is the market easy to read? If I look at the market and it looks confusing and I have to switch to different time frames, I'm not going to be able to trade properly, right? Or I might only take one trade and try to end it for the day. So we have that clear bearish and bullish structure that we're looking for. Like the market right now is showing clear bearish structure, price moving to the downside. So since that price is moving to the downside, okay, we can assume that it's going to create higher highs and higher lows, and it's going to retest into those higher highs and higher lows. And that's what I'm looking for, okay? So when we look for those retests, I want to see candles that are very clear. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, like all red candles going up, all green candles coming down, right? I want to see clear structure, though. I want to see it have a clear pathway upwards and a clear pathway downwards, okay? And that's my trend momentum. Usually this will be 1 point because it's not always clear. Then we have the higher time frame structure distance. For a trade to go in my favor in the direction I'm looking for, I'm looking for it to be in a discounted zone. So farther away within that previous structure, so that previous high and low that we saw, I'm looking for it to have clear room to run in the direction of my trend, okay? So as you can see right here, we have already overextended. So I'm actually looking for a counter trend trade for a temporary move upwards because we have overextended to the top side at this current moment. And let me check something. I think this might be a trade. No, no trade there. Okay, sorry, let me go back to what I was talking about. So we've already overextended, okay? And so when I'm looking for price and where price could potentially move, I'm looking for where would price move to? And that's what what's called these minor structures. These are these minor structures that create these minor high and lows right before it breaks a range, okay? So we know that when price moves back into a range, it likes to grab liquidity, right? So it likes to grab some high or low where people have stop orders placed. So if we look at this chart, this is a Fibonacci, but it identifies as my discount zone. If I look at this, I can't predict the low, okay, until that structure changes. That's okay. But what I can do is I can predict that if this trend is going to continue, I don't want to enter unless it's above this gray area into this red zone. I also don't want to enter if it's too far into this red zone because it doesn't give me a clear idea of a reversal. So the sweet spot that I have found is somewhere within this area, a little bit above that gray zone. It always touches that gray zone though for me. Okay. So I would look for some sort of setup like this every single time. Okay. I'm not even joking. From the left side, so either we have a minor structure that falls into that zone. This one doesn't, as you can see, it doesn't fall into that gray zone. Or I would look for some sort of structural setup like this, okay? We move up, we create a low, we move up, create a down, retest, failure, okay? You notice it's like a head and shoulders pattern, right? So we have that head and shoulders pattern to some degree, but what I add into it is my edge is the discounted zone up here, right? We have that as my edge. The second edge that I do have is I only take a temporary move. So my risk is very small, so I don't have to catch the full move down and catch it to liquidity. Because most likely, what price is going to do, like I said, it can do this. It could do this, but it can also do this. And this is what you don't want to get caught on. You don't want to get caught on this, where it grabs it for a second time, right? So my trade is the idea that I can take a trade from this zone with confirmation using an inverse fair value gap. If you don't know what that is, that's these little gaps, these little imbalances. People like to refer to it as ICT concepts, so I refer to it based off that way, okay? But let me give you a good example, okay? We have this minor structure between this low and high right here. Now, I suspect this one will hold because it gave me a lot of strength. Okay, we suspect that might hold. Let's say that this gave me a clearer structure, okay? We have this high, low, high, low. So now what we can do is we have this inverse fair value gap. Let's say it's in a discounted zone, which it's not really, okay? We come down, we retest into it, and we fail, okay? The closer I can get to in this little box that I have here, where these wicks did not connect, the better, all right? And my stop is up at the high. And if you look, my take profit is nowhere near the bottom of this range. It's about halfway through this range. So I'm not taking a lot of risk to get that 1 to 2. Sometimes I'll enter instantly with that zone. Sometimes I'll wait for a rejection candle. It really depends on where we are in the structure. So let me show you a few trades. All right, and then we can move to the next one. So we have that as the trend clarity. We have the gap. So the gap is a strong decisive break candle. Would you say that these candles are a strong break? I would say moderately. They're pretty strong. 3 candles that are decently sized wick. So we might assign this trade, if it was in a discounted zone, is 1 point, okay? It could, why am I zooming down so far? Ooh. We might, gap formed a moderate break candle. A strong candle is 1 candle that goes straight through the gap, okay? And then a gap formed a weak small candle. That would be like this setup that I had earlier that I showed you, okay? Where was it? I lost my own trade I had earlier. I don't know. Somewhere over here. It was somewhere. It existed. But the one I called out a few minutes ago on the stream. But we have that. Okay. So if we scroll down even more, so my third thing is the entry candle. I'm looking for basically a bearish engulfing candle. Okay. That's all I'm looking for. If you don't know what that is, it's a smaller red candle, a bigger red candle, and a smaller green candle when structure is bearish. The opposite way is when structure is bullish, a stronger green candle, a weaker green candle, and a stronger red candle, a weaker green candle. Let me show you what that means. So we're moving bearish right now, right? So I would look for a setup like this, okay? Pretend this is a red candle. So I'm going to just draw the lines. Be able to see this? Okay. So I'm looking for this setup, right? And these are the candles that appear right afterwards that are breaking the structure. So pretend this next candle is the one that broke the structure, okay? This green candle right here. And we know we're in a discounted zone. So we know price has already reached back into this higher time frame lower structure, okay? So let me show you. This is the time frame we're looking at, okay? And this is appearing somewhere, let's say this is occurring somewhere up here, okay? This setup right here. All right, that's in a discounted area following the general trend, okay? Now, if this was occurring somewhere down here, right, I wouldn't want to take it because it has yet to retest back into my previous structure, okay? All right, so let's say we have that information. This is a green candle. And this green candle broke out of this range. And then we have another green candle that occurred right after it. And it left us this little gap. And let's say this is a weaker green candle. And then we have this red candle that came right back below it. Okay? And we see a setup like this. All right. I would want to, because it is, you know, this is a clean break. Depending on where it's at in that structure again, is it down here? Or is it up here? If it's down here, I want to wait for a test and retest. So I want to wait for it to come back up and fail. And I do not want to see it close above this gap that was formed right here, okay? All right, so I want to see it come back up there. And I do not want to see a closure of the body of the candle, not the wicks. Oh, no. Not the wicks of the candle right here. Okay? I want the body to close right there. And then we see the failure. And if it's down here, that gives us a higher likelihood. If we want to go ahead and instant take the trade, we can as well. We can take it on the next opening of the next candle. And then what I'm doing is, if we look back down here, we don't have to target all the way back down to this liquidity right here. We can just target that 1 to 2, okay? And what it would look like on this chart, on this higher time frame, is something like this. I don't know. This is just an example. It looked like something like this. So we're only returning to partial of the range, right? So even if it does something like this in the future, where it says, okay, we want to move back down, and then we want to break back up, we caught our move already, right? So then if we were to score that, right? And I'll need to mark my chart in a second to see if I can find anything else. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. So let me show you a few examples so it can cement. I'll show you some bad examples and some good examples, okay? So let's say we have that, and then we have the momentum. Clear momentum at the trade of the entry, right? That means it needs to be going up pretty clean and down pretty clean. Like, this is clear momentum over here. Clear momentum. This is okay momentum. This would be like a 1 point. This is clear momentum moving up. We see a straight move up, okay? Clear momentum down. 1 point momentum, clear momentum up, clear momentum up, clear momentum down. Does that make sense? Now, realistically, with the clear momentum, you only need to see it within this little range right here. You need to see it shoot up. You need to give us a clear idea or concept that this thing is faking us out, okay? So we have all that information now, and let me show you a few setups. These are trades I have taken. Some of them have been on stream. So if you want to go back and look, well, let me go back to my actual trading journal for this specific account. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Okay. So let me see if I can get it. So you can see my scores right here. These are my entry scores. And as you notice, I want you to look at my entry scores of 7, 10 points, 10 points. Did I win those trades? I won one, but it was only $80 because I got stopped out. Okay, so let me show you some of the pictures. I don't know what happened to this one. This one definitely disappeared. This one I forgot to put. So this is the one from earlier today. So we pulled back up into a previous higher time frame structure, okay? And what we had is we had this clear break. Can we see this clearly? Or do I need to make it bigger? I think I may need to make it bigger. So we have this clear break right here, right? We have this strong clear momentum upwards. And what do we notice? The only bad thing about this trade is that we tried to bounce off of initially, but the failure actually helped it out in this case. We have this gap. You see how this candle broke the structure and it never retested back into this gap. That's what I mean by that wicks into the gap. If it wicks fully through this gap and then it comes down and close, that weakens my setup, okay? So if this would have wicked fully through this gray area initially on its breakout, then it would have been a way weaker trade, okay? So that was my trade setup. And you can see how I did wait. This candle was actually the one that put me in, this little retest right here. Put me in perfectly, okay, to the trade, and then it dipped. Okay. Here's another setup. Do you notice a theme here? Look at this. We had a minor structure. This one didn't show a setup. So then we had our next structure that was within our discounted zone, and look to the right of it. We had that wick barely. This one's a little bit weaker, but it did wick above it. And we had a clear candle and a clear rejection come off of it and a clean retest. I entered on that retest of the candle right there. And look where it went. And I only targeted that 1 to 2. I didn't need to target the full range there. Now let me show you a worse trade. This one actually worked out. I wouldn't consider this a worse trade. So I knew we were outside of this range. We had clear liquidity right here, okay? If you see it. Now, this one's harder to see. You have a little gap break right here on the minor liquidity. So I actually was like, okay, look at this instant rejection right here. We have this gap, and look, we closed right above this gap and retested into it with a bullish engulfing candle. So I entered off the bullish engulfing candle and targeted the 1 to 2. I just entered with too small of a position size and messed up on my position sizing there. Let me show you another one. This is a loss trade, and you'll be able to see why. Look what I went for. Now, it had yet to form that minor structure here, right? We're not ever going to break fully straight down. And if we do, it's going to retest later on and form a minor structure. So I entered thinking, oh, hey, it might go up. The issue was we were generally bearish for the day. So this was just a bad trade. So if you scroll out, you can see my minor time frame structure. We actually held this structure, and that should have given me confirmation that we were moving down. This is my favorite setup. We have an obvious, this one was outside of the range. So this one was way overextended, and we were still within bearish structure. So overall higher time frame was moving downwards. Now the difference of what I saw here is we saw that this price right here, it formed that minor structure on the left side here. You can see how it barely wicked above and it came down low. And then look what happened. We created a strong move up, clear structure. We created a strong move down. And look at this. This is the tiniest little setup, okay? And imagine I'm doing this on like a time frame that's moving every 10 seconds per wick, okay? Per tick. Look at this little candle. It formed this little gap. This gap did break this minor structure right here. And we closed above with a strong rejection. And so I entered off that candle and targeted a 1 to 2. And this one worked out perfectly. My favorite setup. It's such a hidden setup. Now, it's not going to always work. Of course, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So you do need to practice a little bit before you do anything with it. But if you just watch other people trade and learn from them and stick with one strategy. Stick and master one strategy. That's it, okay? You don't need to master multiple different strategies, all right? But hopefully that helps out. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more information. My other strategy kind of plays off the same thing. I'll show you it just because. It's just a fib retest. So using that structure that I talked about earlier, right? So let's say we have those periods of time. Let's say it's moving very clear like it is right here in this case, okay? And we see that instant rejection, and we didn't see that minor liquidity. So we didn't see that minor structure form right here, okay? We never saw like that little fun thing that occurs right there. Well, price is going to instantly reject off of it. So price instantly rejects. So then in this case, continuing with the trend. Okay? Continuing with the trend. Look what we formed right here. Oh, I'm actually really sad I missed this trade. But the difference is, yes, this is still a similar setup as my other one, right? And these strategies can combine. But the difference of this strategy is I can look for the same thing with a different intent. So if we look at this, if I have clear separation between structure, we have structure number 1, which is liquidity is most likely always going to be grabbed. Then we have structure number 2. And the only difference is between this and something you might see over here is this gives me clear areas, right? We only have 2 setups that it could possibly be. So with this setup, I can only go to this area in reverse or this area in reverse. And this one's always going to have liquidity grabbed. This one's not. So this is kind of an order block trade. Not really. It's more so based off the Fibonacci. And we can look around this range right here where we wicked into. And we take a trade off the exit. So all it is the failure, retest failure of that gray zone. I always look for a failure on this setup. Always. Stop loss here or stop loss above this range. Same exact exit, a 1 to 2. And that one's always going to be at the edge of liquidity. It has a slightly lower win rate. This one is something I created completely by myself based off of other people's strategies. Both of them are kind of my own concepts, tailored from other people's concepts, something that exists for long term, which is mostly what you want to do with trading, right? You want to tailor it based off of other concepts. Yeah. Hopefully that's all helpful. Again, please just be aware. This is not my full-time job. I want to specify this. I have made income from it. Someone actually came in earlier, but this is not my full-time job. I was thinking about changing my name. I'm doing my doctorate in psychology. So that's my plan. That's what I want to do. So I just want to make people aware of that before I do anything. But the information itself is good. My technical analysis is really good. You'll notice my emotions, they're doing really well past 3 days because I've developed passion for this again. That's why I started streaming. I was just doing it passively and I was not enjoying it. I really developed passion in a community when I was streaming. So I'm trying to get back into that community aspect of things. I used to have a Discord I would talk with a lot. All right, let's see if we can get a setup. This is just Top Step. So this is a funded account, a prop firm. They're actually, if you are consistent, or I would recommend spend at least, I would say a month, but since you lost your job, spend at least minimum 2 weeks. Do this at least 2 to 3 hours a day during market open. So wake up at 9. Practice this on the lowest time frame you can feasibly do. Okay, on yours, if it's the minute or if it's the ticks. Mine is trading based off the ticks over here. Okay. If it's the 1 minute time frame or if it's the ticks, trade it on the lowest thing so you can get as much practice, and then chart it. So if you're taking a simulated trade, don't lie to yourself, okay? Don't lie to yourself. Said, oh, I would have taken that. If you called it out within a certain area, sure, you can put it. But everywhere where you would have taken a trade, chart it. Try to get it, take as many as you can a day. So if you see any setup that you feel certain on, take it so you can get data that can help you improve. And then you can buy a prop firm challenge that's only $50. Okay, buy the cheapest one and then practice with that. Risk max $100 and practice with doing it. It requires 3,000 to pass. And if you pass it, then you can start developing income from that. I assume if you lost your job, you should be making something for the next few weeks. So it gives you some times to practice, unless it's a part-time job or it's a hourly job. I am sorry about that, though. I really am. I'm really sorry. I know the economy is hitting really hard, and it's even more worrying right now when I look at this. This is terrifying to me. I hope you guys know. Okay, you'll get back pay. That's good. Dude, this is terrifying, though. I mean, this thing is... I don't know where it can possibly go, but it's not a good sign at all. It hasn't been a good sign since since February 26th. For anyone that has savings. Good time to load up, though, soon. Okay, let me rechart. Let me reorient myself. I mean, everything here is still the same. We never retested into any of this. We do have the inverse structure right here. We did retest in this. Yeah, no problem, man. And feel free to go, like, shop around. Pretend it's like a shopping session. Find what works for you. What makes sense in my head, you know, might be something you struggle with. For example, a lot of people use fixed range. Volume fixed profile range, and that works for them. I could never get used to it. I struggled a lot with volume fixed profile range and never made sense. I understand, like, we have this, but people have so many rules for it. It just never made sense for me. So, yeah, go shop around. There's a lot of good traders. It depends on how much time you want to spend on the market, right? After you get successful at something, but do not. If you're going to shop around, I'm going to go ahead and save you years of shopping around, okay? Do not do anything with a bunch of indicators. Yes, they can work, but you can do better with straight price action. They can be a huge assist, like moving averages, fixed range profile, VWAP. You know, a lot of that stuff, even the MACD and things like that, can help you out. But it's better to have knowledge on how the market generally moves and knows when the market is strong, when it's weak, when you need to stay out of the market. It's okay not to trade a day. That is the main thing I'm still learning. It's okay to not take a trade a day if it does not work. Please put that in your head. You are not failing if you don't take a trade. I am not failing right now after making... Oh, I am not failing after making $364 today on this funded, you know, passing this funded account if I do not trade again today, right? I am not failing. And I have to constantly remind myself, because or else I will fall back into that habit of over trading. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I never got lucky. I lost everything every single time I put money. When I was doing stocks, I had a few really good trades, but I would get fearful. I was not like one of those people that could hold. And I called out, what was it? Called out GMC and before any of that hype happened because I saw a setup. I saw a setup for GMC and AMC, and I'm so mad I did not hold on that. I sold like after it moved up $5. I was trading based off a guy named Qual Maggie, and his setup is really good, but at the same time, it does not work for... Let me see something. His setup does not work for traders who have smaller accounts because you can only lose a certain amount, and you can only risk a certain amount. His setup has like a 12% win rate, something crazy low, 18% win rate. But he trades 1 to 11 trades. He does things like this. He'll have like these types of stops. And he trades on the daily time frame, so I used to try to do that, and it just wasn't working for me. I didn't have the patience for it. Hey. Oh, Mom. Yeah. What? What's up? Yeah, what's up? Here, walk out. Sorry, guys. My mom she was about to dox me. She was about to dox me. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I didn't want to be doxed. She was trying to talk about personal information. I'm staying here until I finish my degree, by the way. And for rent. Paid with some of my college through trading, which was very nice. Ooh, okay. So let me give you an example. This would technically be a setup. I would want to wait for a retest. We weren't... Yeah, I would want to wait for a retest. We weren't in a discounted area before I would ever take this trade. It's a good setup, though. Would you have gotten a 1 to 2? You would have gotten a 1 to 2 here if you entered. Oh, no, you wouldn't. You would have not. Nope, no 1 to 2 here yet. You would want to wait for it to retest up here and fail to give you a better risk to reward here. It's also just overextended, so I would want to wait for a failure here because it's overextended, a retest and failure. I'm sorry about that. I need to apologize to my mom for coming across the little room. She just caught me off guard. I am 27. Sometimes it feels bad. But I was living alone doing working, and then it just wasn't feasible to, you know, live alone. No, nothing wrong with it. I just don't think she knew. Oh, this trade worked out. Yeah, this economy is insane. I'm hoping for once I don't... What I do is what a lot of traders do, is the same thing. Is I'll get emotional one day and it'll be after 28 days of successful trading, where I have all green days, and one day I'll somehow blow it all. And that's been the past 6 months. Somehow I was profitable for the third year I started trading. Second year or third year I started trading, and then I stopped being profitable for 2 years after that. Yeah, stopped being profitable for 2 years. This year's been interesting because I have withdrew money. I withdrew $4,000 or $4,500, but at the same time I have blown accounts a lot, and most of them was in the same week. Over a whole year, I withdrew all that from, very structured trading, and then I blew like 7 accounts in a single 3 days because I was tilted out of my mind. So, oh, dude, that's amazing. I mean, still made it to 3,500 even if it was luck. That's like a huge gambling day. All right. Yeah, no problem, man. You can always watch these back. I have 3 streams, all with, I would say, pretty accurate information, and a few. The first one was very, and I try to provide as much information. The first stream I did is probably the best if you're looking for a lot of attempts. Okay, I think I traded 6 times. I won 2 of those trades, like actual 2 trades. One I got stopped out for break even, and then lost 3 of the other ones, and I still ended up being up $270 on that day. This trade would have worked out really well. Kind of wish I would have taken it. I mean, once I saw that daily, it moved up. Does my format look good on your phone or on your computer or whatever you're watching me? Does it look good, or should I change anything? I know it doesn't look great watching back the videos, but like on the actual screen itself for the live, does it look good? It bugs me a lot when it doesn't look organized. I cannot figure out how to do YouTube Shorts. I mean, how to make this look nicer than this. Perfect. Okay, good. All right, good. Yeah, the yesterday's stream was definitely interesting. Last night's stream, sorry. I don't know if I'm going to get another setup today, which I already made my goal. My goal is always 1 win. But if I have 1 win, then I take another one. Okay, cool. Perfect. So this trade would have worked out. This would have been a crazy return. And what you can do, even to increase this return, let's say you get that 1 to 2 and you want to just make it move a little bit more. You could always trade down to the first closure of 2 green candles, which we have yet to get. That's always one option. You just always take the risk of having a way bigger retest back into the range, it reversing very quickly. So that would have given you a 1 to 3.71. You could trail some positions for a 1 to 4 or a 1 to 3. There's a lot of things you could do with this. I just chose the 1 to 2 as the easiest thing with how Top Step works with this risk. This is not healthy, guys. Please be careful if you're still actively investing. Please be very careful with the market right now. The daily does not look healthy at all. I said that, I think, 2 days ago. Yeah, it just looked really bad. I don't know if I'm going to get another setup. This thing is so overextended. I mean, realistic right now, I could just take a bearish trade and this trail it. I mean, like, honestly, let's just say I took a bearish trade. Like, I'm not going to do that because it goes against my strategy. But let's just take, you know, I said I took a bearish trade around this area. Oh, okay. Maybe there'll be a setup here. I might be willing to take this. Strong reversal. Let's get the retest of the gap. Let's see if it holds. We did hold. The issue is I don't have a clear target of where this would go. But this would have worked, I think. I think this trade would have worked. It's always very risky because you don't want to take the risk. But this one, first sign of strength right here. Extremely overextended. We are extremely bearish though. I don't know if I would ever take this. I don't think I would, but who knows. Let me look at the 1,000. I mean, hey, just extremely overextended. Shows me a perfect setup, a perfect. I don't think I could personally do this, but if you are one of those people, you know, you might. If you go negative on it, it's so you don't get the money. So that's a challenge. So $50 a month is a challenge. Okay, you can get the $99 one. I wouldn't recommend, but that's if you believe you're gonna pass it. Okay, the $50 is for practice, but you also have something. You know, you have something that. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. You have something that means to you. Okay. So with the $50 a month, if you pass that, okay, then you pay a activation fee. I think that's double the amount. And when you pay that activation fee, yeah, that's why I said the $50. There's actually a discount right now. I don't know if you saw that at the beginning of my screen. It's $24 off. There's a code. So you only pay $26 right now. This one would have worked out. That's sad. But there's a code right now, so you only paid $24 for the actual account. And what you do is you could practice it, or you could buy two accounts or whatever you want to do. And then you could practice trades. If you do well enough, and let's say you do really well on this after, you know, practicing it, then you can take that account and you activate it. And then if you make above 5 trading days of $150 more, you can withdraw money. It's very specific rules, but it saves you from putting like $800 in and losing it all when you're learning. And that's the most important thing. It's trying to reduce your losses while learning and increase your overall percentage while winning, right? Yeah. So, what I'm talking about is if you buy the challenge, it'll be $50, right? You have an activation fee. There is a code for a discount right now till April 1st. It was popping up on my screen. I don't know where it went. But there is a code you can look up for April 1st. This trade would have been insane, by the way. And with that code on April 1st, you can get $26 off. So it's only gonna be $25. Instead of paying $800 to put money into a live account, you can pay that $25 for practice, right? Once you activate the account, you have to have 5 trading days of $150 or more. Once you get those 5 trading days of $150 or more, then you can withdraw money. No, you're good. I said I would not take this trade. The only reason, it's an amazing setup. Like, look at how perfect of a V formation this is. Perfect, like, reversal momentum trade. It's just so, and it was so far extended, so you can counter turn trade. I just don't think I could find myself with how bearish this is looking right now. Doing that with how much this was moving down. I don't have clear structure above where I could see it move back up to either. Oh, this is a setup, and I missed it. Oh, this was an actual setup. This was an actual setup. That sucks. Oh, this is a perfect setup too. Oh, this is my ideal setup entry. Because when I looked at the 5,000, we were 100% going to move up to this area, at least. Okay, so there we go. So we see that right here. This would have been such a good setup. Oh my god, look at this. All I would have to target is to here. I'll have to retest the gap. Look at that risk to reward. Oh, man. And I might have not it would have tapped me in. Oh, it would have been beautiful. I got on 1 to 2 instantly. And if I really wanted to, I could have targeted this liquidity up here. Oh, that would have been great. This wasn't necessarily hard to see. I just was not paying attention. That would have this is probably going to be the only other one I see today that I really, really like. It's a little bit overextended now. I don't love it that much anymore. I don't love any trades at this current moment. Where we're moving to, I'm going to make an assumption. I think we're going to move up here at the least. So this would be my target for this move. That does not mean it's not going to do something stupid. Sorry, my mic's very close to my face. That does not mean it's going to do something very stupid like do this stuff. But I do think it's going to move up here within some sort of specified range like this. I think it will move up there within this area range. That's the lowest it will go in my mind. Oh, that sucks. Sometimes you get a lot of setups, sometimes you don't though. Or you miss a lot of setups. You should have seen my first stream on Wednesday. Yes, I won, but oh, I missed so many good setups on the first hour of the stream. So many, because I was a little bit fearful. Look at this. I want to show you guys something. We have this miner. Got the miner liquidity right here that we're breaking off of. This would have been another setup as well. It's not a great setup though, I'll be honest, but it is a setup. Oh no, it isn't. Never mind, I take it back. Take it back. This is going to be a practice trade. It doesn't have a high enough risk to reward for me. It's hitting an order block. That's only if it rejects, but this one won't work out most likely. It didn't give me a rejection. Nope. I think realistically I would want to look for the exit right here. Might move on the 1 minute to see if I get any set up here. Okay, hopefully eventually. And my main hope eventually is that I'll be able to meet people through the community again that either are well established or are looking to learn. It's my main goal. I don't have as much time as I used to teach, but I would still love to do that again. We might fail right here. We're going to come back down for this liquidity, most likely. We have a lot of unretested ranges right here. This is also liquidity. Grab the liquidity. Oh, perfect setup again. Wow. Let's see if it holds. I don't want to enter that. No. It's too bearish. It might go up, but it would have stopped me out to begin with. Let's see how this reacts here. We have a minor structure right here. I mean, it hasn't broken the minor structure yet, but we do have a minor structure. Okay, we broke down past it. Bearish now, so I'm looking at that minor structure. Let me draw my little dots here. We're bearish right there. And then our high is up here. Okay, where's the discounted zone? Up here? We don't have a clear second range up here, so I believe that it'll be this wick that will reverse off of. Or potentially, since we are still bullish and we're still working upwards, this gap might be the... If this holds, this might be an entry as well. So I got to see the interaction off that. This is always a potential entry right here. Off of this gap right here, because this was unretested. We grab liquidity. So like, let's say if I did enter there, this is not even a simulated trade because I entered way too late. And I believe that's going to come up for this liquidity right here. For 1 to 2. Let's look at the 500 to make sure. Didn't give me a setup on the 500. Oh, sorry guys. I know that's hard to see. There you go. Grab that liquidity. We failed. This might move. This most likely will move up. High probability in my mind. I do want to see a setup though. Okay, moved up back for a retest here. Let's see how it reacts right there. How's it going to react on this gap? Broke through the gap. Okay, and this should be confirmation that we... Are we moving down or are we moving up? That's confirmation we're moving down right there, maybe. This isn't a trade I would take. It's not clean enough. But it's showing me two different setups here with it where it could go either direction. So you don't want to take that. I'm still more so in this trade right here for the bullish one. Yeah. Why is this not a bearish trade? We're not near any structure. The structure I was planning for it to come up to is up here. So this is not a valid rejection zone. If that makes sense. You could move your stop to break even here if you wanted to. That's safe enough. Hit my take profit. Oh no, that was just a visual bug. Never mind. Now I hit my take profit. I don't think I'm going to get another trade today, guys. I don't think so. One that I'm willing to take that's high enough percentage points. Well, it came up to my attracted zone, which is good. Oh, I'm all alone. Boo. No one's here to join me. Is that a setup? No, it's not a setup. Okay. It is bearish, though. We have the minor structure right here. A minor structure right there. Looking for a hold at the gap here. We held the gap, we broke up. This would be a trade, technically, but I wouldn't take it because we're at the top of a range here. But if this was lower, then I would take this trade, just for example. There you go, 1 to 2. See if this one would work out. Maybe I should have taken that trade. Sorry, guys. What a move. All right, well, I don't like being in any of this area right now. I'm still thinking we're coming up to here now. We're bullish at this point. I don't want to take any bearish trades. And this is minor structure right here. There's clear minor structure right there. We are 100% bullish, moving upwards. These would be a lot of trades right here. This is like clear strategy for me. We have a setup here. The issue is I can't take it. Let me see. Let me actually double check this. Oh, it is a setup. Just to look at it to see if it would hold. I would not want to take this ever, but because of this gap. I'm just interested. Sometimes I'm intrigued to see what it does. No, it wouldn't work good. This one might need to work though. Then you got to be very careful that I'm not forcing a trade here. It's a clean setup here with a lot of room to run. Can we get a retest? Oh no, just move straight down. see what it would have given. We tapped in the zone again. 1 to 2. We'll do a small position for my 1 to 2. Just a very small trade. I don't love this setup anymore. I'm going to most likely exit if it doesn't move down soon. Gotta figure this out. No, don't love it. This one will most likely fail. Maybe it won't. Oh, this is so volatile, dude. Holy crap. So darn volatile. I don't love it at all. 75. Get ready for the market to fake out. I'm moving to this break even. Screw it. I'm not losing a trade today on the overtime of the market. It's either gonna move straight down or it's gonna stop me out. Good. I'm fine with that. We're not taking this risk at 3:59. I forgot what time it was. We can watch and see if it would have worked out though. I don't like this price action, nor did I have like a clear range. This wasn't a bad setup, I would say. It has room to run down, but definitely not great. Like I can't read this. Once it had this retest, this consolidation, once I had this consolidation right here and it didn't instantly reject, that's when you don't really want to stay in. This is a lot better setup, to be honest, but it's already 4 o'clock, so way better setup. If it fails here. Nope, no failure. Okay. I'm glad I didn't enter any of those. It's just it's not good. We're moving bullish. Realistically, I need to look for the other trade direction. Nope. I'm fine with that. I'm fine being up 365 today. All right, guys. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys Monday.